In the segregated Jim Crow era, things were separate but definitely not equal. African Americans were not able to have access to public facilities like hotels and beaches. Bishop Robert Jones, who was the first Black Episcopal leader of the Methodist Episcopal Church, went to a speaking engagement once at Lakeside Assembly, which was a white campground. He envisioned that his African American brothers and sisters in Christ could also have a place where they could gather for activities, for training, and for spiritual retreats. After that, he sought to make his dream a reality. He wanted to begin fundraising to have a place where these people can gather. And he went and he sought out the help of churches to raise money. In 1923, he purchased 300 acres of land, and then he leased an additional 316 acres of land in Waveland, Mississippi, where it formed what we now know as Gulfside.
As a child, I spent a lot of time here at Gulfside Assembly with my family and friends. Gulfside Assembly represented for us a place of peace and serenity, a place where we could come and learn more about our Methodist faith, where we had the opportunity to interact with other Methodists.
When it opened in 1924, the only building on the land was a huge mansion that had previously been occupied by the descendants of former President Andrew Jackson. Bishop Jones led the effort to restore it and convert it into a meeting house so that groups could meet there and programming could happen. Gulfside was where Black and white Methodists could quietly come together despite Mississippi's strict racial segregation laws. Over the years, Gulfside added several buildings to its property. There were cabins, an inn, a chapel, and other buildings. Lots of ministry happened at Gulfside from April through August. There were camps and retreats and seminary courses for African Americans. There were also girls' clubs, boys' clubs, 4-H, YMCA, and a plethora of other opportunities that took place where African American adults and children could participate at Gulfside in things that they would normally be excluded from. Gulfside was the first facility on the entire Gulf Coast where African Americans could swim and use the beach. It was decades later before the beaches were desegregated, so Gulfside was not only this undiscovered jewel of the South where Black and white Methodists could come together. Additionally, for the Black community, it was the only place where you could walk or even play at the beach.
My first experience with the 4-H Club was at Gulfside. Gulfside has been a place of calmness, a place of peace, a place of learning, as well as a place of reconciliation.
In 2005, Hurricane Katrina pretty much flattened several areas of the Mississippi Gulf Coast, and Gulfside was no exception. All the buildings, including the $3 million facility that had just been dedicated weeks before, lay in ruins. So as Gulfside approaches a centennial milestone in the next couple of years, it's crucial to cast a vision for what ministry at Gulfside should be pursued for the next 100 years. Gulfside's foundation is a commitment to being partners in advocacy and catalysts for change. And that is not only Gulfside's legacy, it will be Gulfside's future.
Although there are no buildings on the property itself except for the open-air chapel, I invite you to come and experience the love, joy, peace, and serenity you will feel as you stand on holy ground.
Gulfside Assembly has made me the person that I am today. Gulfside Assembly continues to provide a place of hope, peace, and reconciliation. Gulfside Assembly cannot continue unless we have support of people like you. So I encourage you to give to Gulfside your time, your money, and your prayers. Thank you.
You can help us by becoming a friend of Gulfside, or by donating to Gulfside, by volunteering, and several other ways. You can find out more information by going to www.gulfside.org. www.gulfsideassembly.org.